if you want. You could just say once.
And now Sage starts with the ball, moving up the field with a quick pass there. And sorry for those technical difficulties. We are having some issues with our audio, but we are now live here. I am Kyle Spizak, joined by Garrett Chan. And for a quick run-through for how we opened up, Oswego is coming in this game off a quick start, 7-0 last game, and a quick start here as Oswego puts one in right there. Jordan, first goal of the game, 1-0 Lakers. And Garrett, what do we see right there on that play?
Yeah, despite the audio technical difficulties, I should say, we were talking a lot about the Oswego offense. And of course, you had a lot of major contributors in their last game, in their victory over the Kuka Wolves. But here today, already like 3 minutes in, they already have a goal on the board. And they're looking to capitalize on these early offensive opportunities, especially when they had that penalty corner just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and like we were saying, I don't know if they heard us or not because we had the technical issue there, but penalty corners are going to be a big part of this game for Oswego. And like we said, they had to just get the momentum going, put the pressure right on Sage from the start, and they did that with a 1-0 game here, 12:25 to go in the first quarter, as they're now battling for possession of the ball around midfield. Whistle blown. Oswego knocks it in, and it gets around Sage there, picked up by Oswego, and now Oswego coming in on the net, looking for a shot. Shot there, knocked away by the goalie, and Oswego still battling for it. Goes up the middle. Oswego with possession, goes up. Jordan with the ball again, and she shoots, but it goes wide.
Another great shot there by Caitlin Jordan, already making her presence felt early in this game. But a common thing we have seen, not just in the first few minutes, but in the previous 3 games in which the Lakers have been victorious, they've applied a lot of offensive pressure, putting a lot of traffic in front of the opposing goaltender. And so far, it's working early today.
Yeah, and like you said, Garrett, all about the offensive pressure here for this Oswego team. 7 goals in their last outing, 7 goals in the outing before. And they've just been one heck of an impressive offensive team this year, Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, last game, you said a 7-0 victory. You had a hat trick from Caitlin Mastracco, 3 goals on 6 shots. And she already, with that goal total in last game, she is now has three-way tie for the lead in goals scored. Of course, you had Casey Simser, who also scored 2 goals in the last game. So you're getting major offensive contributions. But while we talk about the offense, we also have to talk about the defense. They very suffocating defense. Erica Shabline, the goaltender for the Lakers, picked up her 10th career shutout in their last game in their victory over the Wolves. So we'll see if she can continue the shutout streak.
Yeah, Oswego definitely off to a hot start this year as they are 3-0 to start this year, 8-9 on the season last year. So they're hoping that they can keep this momentum going and stay above 500 this season as Oswego looks for a pass there, but it goes out of bounds. Sage will get possession of the ball. And Garrett, how about Oswego's star, Megan Delaney?
Yes, Megan Delaney had a sensational week as she was named SUNYAC Offensive Player of the Week. She's been everywhere. She's been a lot of the offensive game for the Lakers, and expect a lot from her in today's contest.
And a nice shot there, but knocked away by Sage's goalie. And Oswego has been putting the pressure on very heavily at the beginning of this game. Much of this game has been played in Sage's end of the pitch here, as we are at 9:49 left to go in the first quarter. Oswego with possession and a nice little pass there in front, and what could have been a goal, but it is blown dead beforehand, and Sage will now be going the other way with the ball.
If you saw there, Caitlin Jordan was right in front of the goalkeeper there. She tried making a deflection, but the whistle was called, creating a stoppage of play. But in the play prior, you talked about number 5, Nancy Pagliaroli. She was in the middle of that offensive set. She's actually my player to watch. There's a lot of players that Lakers have that are really intriguing.
Yeah, as a shot goes wide there, 9:08 left in the first quarter of play here. as Sage once again starts with it at the top of the circle. And Sage will throw it over there. That was Daniels. Looking for, a nice interception there by Oswego, trying to find Jordan in front, but was not able to. But Oswego will maintain possession of the ball. Shot there. Blocked, but picked up by Oswego. In front of the net, some battling going on. Sage comes away with the ball.
A lot of back and forth between the Lakers offense and the Gators defense. It's been really basically the theme of this game within the first few minutes. It's going to be interesting to see if the Gators can actually buckle down in their defense and the Lakers either take advantage and score more goals, or they find themselves create more opportunities but not being able to capitalize so far.
Yeah, and another nice shot opportunity there for Oswego, as the shot total now goes up to 4 in this first quarter, just under 7 minutes into play. And now, Oswego's got a quick start out here today, Garrett. But given their past outings, there's 7 minutes here to go in the first. What are the chances you think that they are able to put another one in here in this first?
Well, based off what we're seeing within the first several minutes, we've seen a lot of the offense on the right-hand side of the field, and you see there that they're just completing these passes. They're applying some offensive pressure. We can expect a few more goals, but we'll have to see how much give this Gators defense has.
Yeah, like you said, it is a good point right there, as much of the game has been spent on the right wing of the field here. Oswego's really not pressuring that left wing. Not sure why. Maybe it's just not their – maybe the right side is their attack side, where their more lethal scoring opportunities come from. But at the same time, maybe it could just be some really good Sage defending as Oswego's coming in there. Some nice moves by Simser, but –
yeah, I mentioned it before. Casey Simser had a great game in their 7-0 victory against the Wolves. She tried a little doing some okey-doke action over there. Did lose her stick in the process.
Yeah, she did. Trying to make some nice plays out there. Get some added to the highlight reel as we have a stoppage here. And it looks like this is
another penalty corner for the Lakers.
Yes, it is another penalty corner. So Sage getting ready to defend the penalty corner. So Oswego passes it in. Take a shot on net. Ball's loose, but they are not able to get to it. A good defensive play there by Sage, keeping Oswego away from the goalie.
Another strong shot there by Mastrocco. We see a little of that little 9-iron action right there.
Yeah, really winding up, putting it all into that one as Oswego's coming in with some speed, but it is stopped by Sage. Oswego with the ball. And a shot pass in front. Nice opportunity there, but goes right into the pads of Church.
Great save there by Anna Church. She did a really great, phenomenal job of stopping those shots. She's going to have to buckle down, and the way this this Lakers offense has performed so far, it looks like she's going to have a long day.
Yeah, as they have another penalty corner here, and 5 shots for the Lakers already here in this first quarter, 6:08 to go in the first. That was pushed into play, but the whistle was called as Sage sends another player to center field. And Oswego passes it into play there. Get things started. Looking over, they find Ollie. A nice play in front, but not able to put anything in there. And the ball is still left out in front. Jordan going for the ball, but the zone is cleared by Sage.
Caitlin Jordan has been right place, right time. So far, we've seen she's open goal, but of course the whistle blown. She's done a really good job of putting her in opportune spots. She already has a goal within the first 10 minutes. So let's see if she can add another within this first period.
Yeah, and Jordan has been doing a really good job this game, just getting pressure on the goalie, being there for those what we call in hockey garbage goals.
Goals.
They're not the prettiest goals, but a goal's a goal at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how you get it. Those rebound goals count just as much on the scoreboard as the one that you go through the entire team and put it top shelf does. So it's a really smart move by Jordan to stay down there, wait for those rebounds, because this Sage goalie she's facing a lot of shots, so she's giving up a lot of rebounds, and being there gives you the opportunity to just extend your lead, keep the pressure on, and really get in the head of your opponent.
You talked about those rebounds before. Number 23, Casey Simser almost tried to do a backhanded flip. So now we have another penalty corner. I believe that's the third.
Yeah, it's the third or fourth now that we've had as Oswego winds it up there. A nice shot, but it is stopped by Anna Church.
Some 9-iron golf action as our great sports director, Thomas Turgeon, winds it up.
Yeah, she really wound up, put everything into that one as we have 4:44 here left in the first quarter. Oswego coming in, and a nice play there, a shot and goal. That is a goal right there for Casey Simser, extending her goal streak. Last game she had 2, has 1 here today. Oswego now leads 2-0, 4:37 to go in the first. And Garrett, tell me about that play we just saw.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play by Casey Simser. If you saw the goalie, she dived ahead of the shot. So by the time Simser put the ball in, she was not in a great spot to stop the play.
Yeah, so that's the second goal there for Oswego, as Simser with a great defensive play there with a nice poke taking the ball away, as Oswego's moving up the field with some speed. Oh, and a nice pass inside. And back door, once again, who is it? Jordan was there. Oh, she's in the way as that ball hits her off of an own Oswego shot.
It was set up beautifully by Molly Darcy, number 10. She came down into the little goalie space, and of course that shot, it deflected off Anna Church, and once again, Caitlin Jordan, very opportune spot. Of course, the play was stopped.
Yeah, as Oswego still maintains possession down in the Sage zone. Sage's defense is they're panicking. It almost seems like they're running around in their own zone. They're not sticking to their game plan. They're not sticking to their defense. It seems like they're getting flustered by Oswego's offense. They're just being able to break through their schemes and get the ball, make those passes back there.
Yeah, as we get another penalty corner here with 3:43 left, it seems like the defense is just running in circles. They're kind of just, there's no connection. There's a lot of disconnect. There's no coordination or communication. So far, the Lakers have been able to put themselves in a great place to score perhaps their third of the period.
Yeah, as a shot there, kicked away. Great save by Church, but it goes back out in a backhand goal. That one almost sneaks in there. Just misses the far right post on a nice backhand shot from Simser.
That was an impressive shot by Caitlin Mistracco, who of course had the hat trick in the game last time against the Wolves. Just went to the right or the left of the goalie. So let's see some backhanded goals. That'd be pretty impressive.
That would start ripping some backhanded goals. As a nice shot there goes off the pad. Oswego's not able to regain possession at first, but they do get it back. Moving down, and a nice shot for Oswego. And a goal. Goal number 2 on the day for Caitlin Jordan. She gets a nice little tip goal there. Oswego now extends their lead to 3-0. 2:55 left to go in the first here. And that was, maybe it was not a goal called back, but Oswego's still coming down in. And Simser with a shot knocked away by Church, and Oswego still maintaining that pressure. Sage just cannot get it out of their zone. This Oswego offense, my apologies, is absolutely relentless out here, just running laps around Sage as the ball goes through the legs of the goalie there, and a stoppage of play.
That was a great shot by Molly Darcy, but the Gators goalkeeper, Anna Church, was able to get enough on it to stop it from trickling into the net.
Yeah, nice save there, just getting enough of a piece to keep it out of the cage. And now, Garrett, so the goalie here for Sage,
Anna Church.
Anna Church, she's been facing quite a bit here. What have you been?
Got a penalty shot
Penalty
here.
shot, and that one goes in for a goal. Yep. So we have a goal there for Oswego. Oswego now extends their lead to 3-0.
I mean, we were talking. You were making a point about Anna Church. There, it was a great chance for her to show off her goalie prowess there. Unfortunately, she was not successful as Caitlin Mastrocco again gets herself on the board.
And now Oswego takes the 3-0 lead with 2:22 here to go in the first. As Sage starts off with the center ball. And they don't get far in Oswego's zone before the whistle is stopped. And Oswego's defense is just like a brick wall. Sage cannot seem to get through the front lines of their defense. As that was Fitzgerald bringing the ball up for Sage. Fitzgerald still with the ball. And she gives it a nice whack. Goes all the way down the field and out of bounds. And Garrett, let's talk about Oswego's goalie here. Let's talk about Shabline. What have you been seeing?
She's been very impressive. She's having some nice kick saves over her last 3 games. I mentioned before that she collected her 10th career shutout in their victory. Still has not let up a goal all season. And kudos to also the Laker defense for making sure whenever the opposing team tries to get a shot off, they're right there. But great stuff so far from Shabline in stopping those shots.
Yeah, she's been having a great season, like you said, has yet to let in a single goal this year. 3-0 this season. They've got shutouts so far, and now we have a penalty corner with 1:16 left in the first. As we await. And the ball is hit in. Pass up to the middle. Oswego takes a whack. Oh, and that one goes right over the crossbar. A nice scoring opportunity there for Oswego. And Garrett, that one was kind of weird. It kind of went up the Sage's defender, almost like their stick was a ramp, just rolled right up and right over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, luckily didn't get that weird deflection, but then again, Lakers doing a great job of putting shots on goal, and at this point, you're just shooting everything you can because something's going to go in at this point.
Yeah, and it's not a bad method, and it's proven to be a pretty good method for Oswego, as it is 3-0, 1:08 left in the first, and a penalty shot saved by Church. A great save, gloving that one away to the side. And Garrett,
That was a great shot by Caitlin Ali right there. She tried to get it high, but of course, Anna Church was up to the challenge right there.
She was.
She was able to use her glove sign and knock it away.
Yeah, great save there, being aware of the rising shot coming. Now, Garrett, for both of these goalies out here today, it's a hot day out here in Oswego, 82 degrees. You got to feel for these goalies. They're wearing full protective gear out here, long sleeves, legs are covered in pads. It's got to be hot for these goalies out here.
You know, it's interesting because you talk with Erica Shabline. She's kind of just standing there. Not much is happening, but for Anna Church, she's kind of been facing the brunt of the Lakers' offense, all that padding. She's trying to do everything she can to prevent the Lakers from scoring more goals. You know, all this padding and stuff reminds me of my fencing days where I had to wear like 3-4 layers of equipment. I was like sweating after every game. It was brutal. And the thing is, I was indoors too.
Oh, yeah. And it's 82 degrees out here as we have 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Time winds down as Oswego's will maintain possession of the ball, just run out the clock here in the first quarter as we got 2 seconds left. And that wraps up the first quarter of play here at Laker Turf Stadium. The Oswego Lakers lead the Sage Gators 3-0. Oswego 13 shots on goal. Sage is yet to record a shot on goal. Now, Garrett, so Sage Sage here, their coach, this is their first game as a field hockey coach. Nick Ponteri, right? Brockport State graduate, 2016, named the interim head coach here for Sage. This is his first career game coached.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about this is also Gators' first game of the 2022 campaign. So for Nick Pontari as the interim head coach, he's kind of just thrust into this position right now. He's actually the head coach of the Gators baseball team. But right now he's doing some field hockey, and so far he's just trying to see what he has with the personnel and making sure they can come out positively in the second period.
And now on the other sideline, we have Heather Moore in her 6th season here for Oswego. 3-0 start to the season. They've been looking really good right off the bat, Garrett. And what does she want to do with this team working forward?
Yeah, she's going to be really happy with the way things have gone within the first 3 games and also this first period. The offense has put up a lot of great shots. A lot of scoring opportunities have been made. The defense has come in clutch when they needed it. Of course, Shabline has done a great job in goal. So she has to be really happy with what we see in these 3 non-conference matchups. But as we get within the next couple of weeks when they start playing these SUNYAC teams, which the Lakers have struggled a little bit, it'll be interesting to see how Heather Moore rallies her troops and makes sure that she can continue this victorious momentum, I should say, as the season continues into the SUNYAC play.
Yeah, as the Lakers did have a really hot start to the season last year, much like how they are this year. But they did, like you were mentioned, SUNYAC play entering in the next couple of weeks. Last year in SUNYAC play, Oswego did go 2-4. So they do struggle once we do get into conference play. Hopefully that's a change this season. The first 3 games this year seem that it's going to be that way.
And I'm sure Heather Moore knows this, entering her 6th year, so she knows that with the SUNYAC play, it's a lot more challenging than these non-conference teams where it just seems like Lakers just continuously dominate and put up great numbers.
Yeah, exactly. This Lakers team, they're very skilled offensively, but you have to be able to make sure you're trained well enough, you're conditioned well enough to keep up with those other SUNYAC teams. And a nice kick away there by Church, but Oswego gets it and brings it back into the zone, but whistle is blown.
Kanan Ali right there doing a great job of putting herself in the middle of that play. Anna Church, of course, had that great save. She's had a lot of great saves, especially during that penalty shot earlier where she used her glove side and pushed it away. But she has to be proud of herself. It's not more than a 3-0 game.
Yeah, she does, because like we said right at break, 13 shots on goal for Oswego, 10 saves for Church. And that's a big net, Garrett.
That is a big net.
That's a really big net that you have to keep a pretty small ball from going in. So.
And, of course, when those shots go up in the air, next thing you know, it goes right over your head or over your glove side, and you're like, man, I wish this was ice hockey where I could just be a brick wall and stop everything that comes my way.
Exactly. A lot more padding and a lot smaller of a space on a ice hockey net, but Oswego's coming down here, trying to find the inside. Nice little pass there. Looking inside, trying to find Kate McNally, but they could not make the connection there.
That was an impressive shot right there by the Lakers. Unfortunately, it goes off the side frame, but once again, they're getting their shots elevated and trying to get it over Anna Church.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of it here, is getting the ball elevated, because that's one thing I have noticed about Sage. They have been keeping a lot of defenders in that middle part of the zone. So if you try keeping the ball low there, it's gonna get tangled in people's legs and their feet. It's gonna bounce around. You're not gonna get that shot you want on goal. If you elevate it, you get the possibility of maybe getting through those spots that the ball won't get through on the ground.
You know, I think it's also worth mentioning, it's a really hot day, and already Lakers have made some offensive substitutions. We already saw Briley Bouchot with that shot that went off the side of the post. You also see number 7 Taylor Bauer and Ellie Kazel.
And a goal right there for Oswego, a nice tip-in goal. As the Lakers now extend their lead 4-0, 13:05 here in the second. And Garrett, That was a nice tip-in goal here. What allowed him to get in the position for that?
A lot of offensive traffic right there, trying to block Anna Church's vision and making sure that sometimes these weird deflections or getting these little tip-ins ends up benefiting you.
And that was a goal by Caitlin Bauer. And coming up the field now, Oswego on the attack once again, as it has been for the majority of this game so far. As they continue to push it up. Facing some heavier defense there from Sage. Number 23, Shauna Lanou, putting on some nice pressure there. As the ball crosses the back line. Now Sage will start with the ball. Gators try to pass it out of the zone, but it is deflected onto an Oswego player's stick as Oswego's going down. They look to the middle, and a nice shot, but it is stopped by Church. A nice shot by McNally as Oswego still maintains possession, but whistle called.
That was a great shot by Kate McNally. Anna Church again pulling off a fantastic save right there. Within the first, let's say, 20 minutes, she's been active, let's just say. She's doing everything she can to not make it an absolute blowout.
Yeah, she really has been doing her best, keeping Sage in this game because Oswego has just been absolutely peppering her. 15 shots on goal, 12:01 here to go in the second quarter of play. As down in the corner, we await the penalty corner. Passed out front. Wind-up shot. Nice glove save by Church. That was a really nice save right there, as that was a full wind-up on Oswego's end.
That was a wind-up by none other than Caitlin Mastracco. Looks like she's playing golf out here, and at Church. Even with all that padding, that sure might sting a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does. Like you said, Mastracco's she's got an absolute rocket of a shot out there. Just on those opportunities right there, right in front of the net. That's going to be a problem for Church throughout the game. Just those in front of the net opportunities, because Oswego's just been getting them time in and time out. Sage cannot clean up that middle zone, and that's going to start causing problems for him here in the next few quarters.
I don't know if they track this in field hockey, but definitely in baseball they track exit velo. Let's check the exit velo on that shot. And let's do that for every shot by Caitlin Mastracco, because she put some mustard on that.
Yeah, we might just need to stat that one as Oswego comes in. Nice play here. Oswego with the chance. Oh, and a wild play by Church here. Church showing some real aggression there, coming way out of her box to pressure the play. And, I mean, it worked. It wasn't exactly the most gracious play, like you said. But, I mean, it worked. It stopped Oswego from getting that goal-scoring opportunity there. So, great play by Church to take away the angle, take away the space of the net.
Props to also Ellie
Oswego.
Kazel for Lakers. She's come into this game, and she's trying to make an offensive statement. So far, what she did right there, going up toward Anna Church, even though she didn't have a goal to show for it, she's been really impressive in terms of her offensive performance.
And a whistle blown there. Change of possession. Sage will start with the ball, and that is number 4, Milligan, as they battle. And whistle blown. Oswego with possession of the ball. And she rifles that one up the middle, but the play is called
Big
back.
shot there by Caitlin Mastracco, trying to get a pass over there to Nancy Pagliaroli. Unfortunately, she did not connect, but that's kind of what happens when you have those big wind-ups. Really difficult to stop.
Yes. As Sage starts with the ball here, 9:20 to go in the second, but it is immediately intercepted by Oswego, and Oswego is taking this up the field. And a whistle blown there. Sage still maintains possession of the ball as they get the ball inside of Oswego's zone for the first time, but another whistle is blown.
Gators showing off a little offensive pressure right here.
Yeah, as number 5, Alyssa Fitzgerald is putting in some work for this Gators team, getting down in there, making some passes, and really the last couple minutes, she's been in possession of the ball more than anyone else has, and as she still maintains to do it.
Kyle, I'm glad you mentioned Alyssa Fitzgerald. She was my Gators player to watch. Last year, she led the team with 5 goals, 2 assists, and 12 points. Again, that's not much, but with this Sage offense, which has been very lackluster, they don't apply a lot of offensive pressure. Alyssa Fitzgerald's that lone bright spot in that Gators offense.
Yeah, Fitzgerald has been putting a lot of effort in this game for the Sage team's offense. 8 minutes to go here in the second period. Lakers are up 4-0 here at Laker Turf Stadium as Oswego's coming down the pitch. They get it down deep, going around, trying to find somebody in front, but that is kicked away by Church again. And another shot kicked away by Church, and she just cannot be stopped. She is looking like a brick wall out here. And
she's done a great job. Anna Church has done a great job over the last few minutes. Of course, that shot, she did a lot. She did a great job buckling down, making sure it did not trickle to the back of the net. Of course, there wasn't that much bodies compared to like the first quarter where the Lakers, you saw like a lot of white jerseys there.
Yeah.
But still very impressive.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. She's still been playing out of her mind, even though the defense for Sage has gotten slightly better in this second quarter. 7 minutes of play in this second quarter. And Garrett, as this game's gone on, I've started to think that it's no coincidence that churches are usually built out of bricks, because Anna Church is just brick wall out here.
That was nice, Kyle.
Thank you. As Oswego comes down, ball goes out of bounds there.
Of course, if we're given a brief history lesson, not all churches start off with bricks.
No, not all of them, but we're not going to go too heavily into...
We have lost control, man.
We have, as Oswego has the ball here in the middle, 6:25 to go. Starting with the ball is Mistrako, as she has a nice boot, trying to find Jordan down in the corner. Jordan gets the ball. Throws it in front. She's looking for Schaefer, but couldn't find Schaefer in front as Sage takes it and tries to clear it out of the zone. They're unable to do so. Oswego keeps it in. Back down to Jordan. Jordan down in the corner. Jordan makes a nice move, gets some opening there, finds somebody open in front, but the pass misses. And now Mistrako coming down. Oh, a nice move there. Showing some nice stick handles. And great effort to keep the ball in there. But she takes a tumble.
Yeah, you said a great effort there by Caitlin Mistrako. She did a great job of driving through that defense.
And a nice pass to find the middle there, but blocked away. Great defense by Sage. And that was a blocked shot for, I believe that is Eve Tonks. As Sage moves out to center field, signaling another penalty corner for Oswego. And Oswego has had the opportunity for quite a few penalty corners.
They have 10 so far.
It seems like this quarter, and specifically, too.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, I think a common thing we've seen with these penalty quarters, not just in this game, but in the past 3 games, they're looking for Caitlin Mistrako so she can wind it up.
That is true. That does seem like that is the strategy here. They throw it in the middle, try to get one of their big hitters in the middle, but they do go to Mistrako on the side there. But she has a nice and that's a goal for Oswego there. Well, that was a great play by Mistrako, looking back door, trying to find an open woman, and she is, as I was tapped in. 5-0 Oswego leads. 5:11 here to go in the second. And Garrett, how was Mistrako's her vision there to be able to find that open player back door.
That was an impressive penalty corner set piece right there. Usually you would have Mistrako lined up in the middle, but instead she was on the side. You do that little pass, you throw it toward midfield, and you find a Laker. Next thing you know, you have another goal to show for it.
Yeah, that might have thrown Sage off a little bit. I know it threw me off up here in the booth looking for Mistrako in the middle, but she was not there. Pays off, though, as Oswego extends their lead to 5.
That goal by Nancy Pagliaroli moments ago, she was my player to watch, so now I have something to show for it, too.
Look at you, Garrett. Your prediction's getting good now.
I'm not great at predictions. I think we've established that.
And Mistrako with another shot. That one was blocked. And Oswego with a rebound in front. Still looking for the rebound, but it goes wide. Sage clears the zone on this one. And Sage moves up to the top of the circle. And knocking this one out is Megan Daniels. But she is heavily pressured immediately after the pass. Ball goes out. Still Sage, as Eve Tonks will start with the ball here, and it goes out of bounds. Once again, not able to find the center of the field. And a nice tackle there by Oswego. Now, Garrett, they're not even letting them try to push the ball down the field at all here. They are on them from the second the play starts.
Gators are slowly crawling into the Oswego defensive zone like gators on a golf course, but nothing really materializing in terms of offense.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. They are very slowly crawling into the zone, but they're not really able to get anywhere with it right now, as Oswego's defense just won't let them get past the 30-yard box. As we got 3:36 here to go in the second quarter. Oswego leads 5-0 here at Laker Turf Stadium. Eve Tonks with the ball. As we await the whistle from the official. Not sure what the holdup on field is. Score clock issue. 3:47 in the second now. As the game starts there now. And immediately Oswego takes the ball and clears midfield. A bobbled ball there by Sage puts them in some trouble as Oswego's coming down. Oswego's got one person coming down. Oh, and that is a nice save by Church coming out of the crease there, pressuring the offense.
Yeah, that was a great play right there by Casey Simser. I think she was looking for a pass to Taylor Bauer. She was lined up on the left side, but the ball kept rolling all the way to where Anna Church was, where she was able to kick it away. I would like to mention that with that stoppage of play before, apparently the referee awarded a yellow card on Alex Vatalara, which is interesting considering last game Lakers did not commit any fouls.
Yeah, so Oswego with their first yellow card of the game, but it does not seem to be slowing them down at all as they are still maintaining control of this game from the center of the field, not able to get around there. 2:33 to go here in the second. 50 seconds left on the penalty clock for Oswego. As Oswego still a man down, controlling the game down in Sage's zone, but Sage is able to clear the zone there. But it will be an Oswego ball. And she winds up cranks it there to Ali. Looking down in the corner. But she could not find anybody coming up the field is Sage. Sage with some momentum, but a great defensive play there by Mistrako. Just not letting Sage get any momentum, so they throw it down in the corner. That is Abigail Redmond. Redmond with the ball.
Taylor Hasloff right there for Sage Gator. She did a great job pushing in midfield. Unfortunately, she was getting a taste of that Laker defensive pressure.
Yeah, and this Laker defense is just relentless. So we got a minute 22 here left in the second. Lakers lead 5-0. Ball goes out of bounds. Fitzgerald pushes it out of bounds for Sage.
Something worth noting here is that over the past couple minutes, the pace of play has kind of stalled a little bit. Lakers offense, they're not on top of the ball as much. They're kind of chasing some of the Gators players. And for the Gators, they're doing a great job right now of clearing it and making sure nothing for the Lakers in terms of offense materializes.
Yeah, like you said, both teams definitely have slowed down their pace of play as we are heading into 30 seconds left to play here in the second quarter, my apologies. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, though, Garrett, it's a hot one out here.
Yeah.
They just played 2 quarters, but we're about to enter halftime here in 20 seconds, so both teams will have some time to get some fluid in them, calm down a little bit, replenish some energy, get back out here for the next half of the game, and if you're Oswego, hopefully keep the same pressure you have been so far, and if you're Sage,
yeah,
you gotta figure out how you're gonna stop this Oswego offense as the buzzer sounds halftime here at Oswego Laker Turf Stadium. And Garrett, what are your thoughts on the last half?
I mean, when you talk about just the offense, it's very lopsided. For the Lakers, they have 34 shots, 18 on goal, in addition to those 10 penalty quarters. It could certainly be more for Lakers. 5-0 is still pretty good, but this could have been a lot more if it wasn't for the great goalkeeping by Anna Church and making sure the margin doesn't get too significant.
Yeah, 5-0 at the first half. This one's a bit of a barn burner out the gates, but we have a whole nother half to see how this game turns out. Like you said, Garrett, 5-0 Oswego leads here at Laker Turf Stadium. I'm Kyle Spizak, joined by Garrett Chan, and we will see you for the second half. And welcome back into Laker Turf Stadium here for some Oswego field hockey. And the last half, we had a great game. Anna Church for Sage. Just amazing in that, Garrett. Tell me a little bit about what we saw about Anna Church in that.
I mean, you talk about it's a lopsided game, 5-0. You talk goalkeeper for Sage. Anna Church has done a really great job of making sure that this game didn't get away. She had a lot of pad saves, a lot of kick saves. She had that one penalty shot, as you guys see on the replay. You kind of see all these different opportunities for the Lakers. They've done a great job. She's done a great job of making sure she's putting a body in front of these. And then when we talk about Oswego goals, they've had a lot of scoring opportunities. They have 5 to show for it. Some of the players that have exceeded expectations have done a really great job in terms of putting up goals, putting up shots. They have been major contributors in this game.
And, yeah, this has been a really good game for Oswego. And for Sage, not so much. I mean, it is their first game out this year, so you don't really know what you're expecting the first game. You don't know what way it's going to go. You might come out. You might have a hot start like you did, like Oswego has, 3-0. Or you might have your first game end up like how this one has so far for Sage. And there's nothing you can do about that now. It's 5-0. We're about to start the second half. There's nothing that can change that. But if you're Sage's coach on the sideline, you have to be figuring that he's getting these women just motivated over there, telling them, we may not win, but we got to go out there and fight. They got to find their offense. They have had absolutely no offense this game. There is not a single shot against Oswego. We are entering the second half of play, and not a single shot has come from Sage. So that is something that they need to figure out offensively. And
yeah, the offense has been non-existent.
Yeah.
Talking about the interim head coach for the Sage Gators, Nick Pontari. At this point, you're just trying to see what kind of players you have, getting a sense of what works to their strengths, being able to create offense. And I think it all starts with Alyssa Fitzgerald. She led the team last year in goals and assists. So you kind of have to put her at the forefront and make sure she gets the ball, drives down the field. And then it's really hard to do it against a Laker defense like this, but at least get the offense involved, get more players down to the defensive zone.
Yeah, without a doubt. As right away, Oswego takes it as we expect them to. Simser on the attack. Whistle blown. Oswego maintains the ball. And now Sage has the ball. Moving it up. They get it past Oswego as they are trying to break in Oswego's zone. Pass cannot get past Mistrako. Mistrako coming down on the wing. Nice pass over to Jordan. Jordan with a nice pass in front. And now battling for the ball in front is Simser, but Anna Church stands tall on this one and keeps it out of the back of the net. And it is going to be another penalty corner.
First of the second half after having 10 in the first half, so you're getting these offensive opportunities in addition to some of the penalty shots.
Yeah, 10 in the first half. That is a lot. And Sage needs to be able to clean up their defensive zone. And it's hard when you're playing a team like Oswego that's just peppering you. And
the Lakers are relentless, yeah.
They're relentless. They just seem like they're the better conditioned team in this match, honestly. And a nice shot there, which is blocked away. That was a fantastic shot by Mistrako.
If I remember correctly, in that last penalty corner, they did the same play where they had Mistrako on the side instead of in the center of the field. This time, Mistrako put a shot on net, and a great glove save by Church.
And Simser with a nice opportunity there. Great glove save by Church as she kicks it away to the sideline. But it is kept in by Sage. And Sage is able to kind of move upfield with that a little bit before Simser came and shut that down. Mistrako now looks across the field. She was trying to find Ali, but The ball goes out of bounds there. And it looks like it is going to be Gator ball. Yeah, as the Gators are bringing it in. Looking for a pass. Nothing happens there as Oswego's defense comes up once again. And honestly, Garrett, I think the most important part of this game for Oswego has just been how dominant they have been in the neutral zone. They are not letting Sage advance through midfield. They get to midfield, and it's just shut down from there.
Yeah, it's a one-sided game, literally and figuratively. Lakers have done a great job. Sage just not has been able to drive down the field. As you see here, a great effort by the Gators. That was number 3, Jenny Lee Harris. That was probably one of the things Gators could be proud of right there. Driving down, going down to neutral zones, not staying on their defensive side.
Yeah, as Sage tips off right there, ball goes out of bounds.
You saw right there, Molly Darcy tried to take advantage of the stoppage, and kind of Gators not really aware of the situation as she tried to make a pass to Pagliaroli. Unfortunately, it did not connect.
And now we start with a shot, well, an attempted clear from Sage, as coming down the corner there is Simser. Simser with a shot kicked away. Rebound in front, still battling for possession. Back and forth. Simser with the ball again, and it goes wide, but a nice shot there. Great opportunity. Simser just not giving up this Oswego offense. They're grinders out there, Garrett. They're just getting in there, and they don't stop. They're not doing these moves that may be coming, as we'd say in ice hockey, dangles. They're not coming down the field just stick handling through everybody, making them look like fools. No, this Oswego team they're working as a team to get down in the zone. They're using great ball movement, and then they're just attacking the goalie. They're not letting her get the ball out. They're making it hard for her to see the ball, creating a lot of traffic in front, and just the team is just the way they're attacking the front of the net. It's brutal for Sage.
Kyle, I know it's a little bit early because usually we save this for ice hockey season, but how about aggression and possession?
The aggression and possession have been outstanding here for Oswego, and thank you for using that. That is my favorite coined term right there.
Yeah, you're
aggression
welcome.
and possession. Giving me a little trip back to the memory bank on that one. Throwing it in front. Jordan can't find the ball. And another save by Church. And this might be the game of Church's life, honestly. Because she is just standing on her head out here right now. She is the only reason this is even a remotely close contest. She has just been outstanding in that.
I mean, I think if there's a way we could track second chance opportunities for the Lakers, there would be a lot of them because they have done a great job of being in front of the net, putting a lot of bodies in front of Church, who's been up to the task so far in this start of this second half. She's kind of asserted herself right now, find a groove, and hopefully she can keep this pattern of play going because for the Sage offense, for the Gators offense, 5-0 feels like it's 20-0.
Yeah, it really does feel like it should be a much higher lead here for the Lakers, 5-0 with 9:41 left to go in the third. And like you said, Garrett, the Sage offense they haven't gotten anything done at all whatsoever. They haven't even had a shot. And it's kind of hard to see what it is that went wrong for Sage more than the other, because their offense hasn't been here all game. But could their offense not be present because they're having to struggle so much defensively that they're just tiring themselves out in their own zone and not being able to get it out defensively? They're too tired to
they're
generate
certainly
any
playing
offense.
on their heels a lot. It just seems like they're doing everything they can to get a lot of bodies in front of Anna Church. The Lakers, whenever the Gators actually put up any offensive drives, it seems like there's 3 white jerseys surrounding one Gator player. So it's impossible to make an outlet pass or navigate through the impenetrable Laker defense.
Yeah, and a tough play there, as I believe that was number 21, Jaya Karen, took the ball off the side of the head there. And I don't know, I've never touched a field hockey ball personally, but from the way they sound up here in the booth, Garrett, I'm imagining those hurt pretty bad.
Just imagine facing a shot from Caitlin Mastrocco. Next thing you know, even with all that padding, it's going to leave a mark.
Oh yeah, it might leave you bruised up for a few days.
Remember that time when we played floor hockey and I got a shot straight into my knee?
Oh yeah,
it left like a mark a little bit.
Yeah, for those who care to know, Garrett is an absolute all-star in floor hockey defense. And now Sage is coming across with some speed, but a little bit of a bobble there, and that would cause nothing as Sage continues to go on, but a whistle is blown there. And we highlighted Garrett's extensive, illustrious floor hockey career there a little bit. But how about the shout out to the greatest goalie of all time in floor hockey, Mr. Thomas Turgeon.
He's standing right next to us.
The sports guy himself, just outstanding between the pipes. As Oswego gains possession, and they are now turning it up the field. And they find the middle of the field, and coming in, this is a great chance for Pagli. And a goal right there. Nice goal, nice opportunity for Nancy Pagliaroli. And Oswego now extends their lead 6-0, 7:01 left to go here in the third. And
that was an overall a very impressive sequence right there. It was all first set up by Kate McNally. She was driving it into the Gator defensive zone, and she found a great pass to Nancy Pagliaroli, who navigated Anna Church and put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, that was really a great play.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, teamwork really did work out well right there. As you can see, the passing just allowed her the chance to get wide open in the middle there, put that in. As things keep moving on, the temperature is dropping now, but it seems like it might be at the point where the heat doesn't really matter, as it's 6-0 in the third quarter of this game. 6:30 left to go. And now Sage starts with the ball, and they're trying to move it up. But once again, that Oswego defense is impenetrable, and they stop them again. Oswego can't be stopped. The defense of Sage can't handle the pressure of Oswego right now, as Oswego maintains possession of the ball. Looking for a nice pass, and that is a nice pass right up the middle. Found Molly Darcy there, but Darcy on the shot was not able to get the ball.
That was a great shot by Marley Darcy, but Gators did a great job of putting some defenders out there and deflected a shot wide.
And that is yet another stolen pass for Simser. I think that you could count the amount of passes Simser has stolen off of Sage on. You would need more than both your hands, honestly, Garrett.
Wow.
And a goal right there.
Mastrocco again with that big shot. Finds back in the net. What's the exit velo on that, if we could track that?
Yeah, we might just need to stat that, as Oswego now takes a 7-0 lead. 5:24 here to go in the third. And they have now reached what the score of their last outing was yesterday, as they won 7-0 against Keuka. We have a whole nother quarter to play, and it is 7-0 right now.
It's a very impressive offensive showing by the Lakers. Relentless, great passing, doing a good job of finding open players and putting them in places where Gators are playing on the heels. Anna Church in goal can't really do anything except watch it go behind her.
Yeah, as another great opportunity there, but stopped by Church. And a really rough night here. Well, day here for Sage. 23 shots on goal for Oswego, 0 shots on goal for the Sage Gators. 4:37 here in the third, as Sage slowly moves up the field, but it is knocked out of bounds. And now, once again, Oswego gets possession as Schaefer will throw this one in. Schaefer with a nice hit there. Gets it down in the zone to Kazel. And a nice shot there in front by Ali. But nothing will amount to that as Anna Church stops it once again.
Yeah, it was a good save by Church and another second chance opportunity for the Lakers. This shot went wide, but if you track the second chance opportunities, it wouldn't fit on one hand.
And what a nice defensive play there by Eleanor Kazel. Just absolutely amazing, seeing that the pass was going to happen there beforehand, knowing that it was going, anticipating it, cutting it off, giving Oswego another scoring chance. And, well, now it's going to be another penalty corner, the 12th here in this game, second of this half. As Aaron Schaefer is going to hit the ball into play. And change of possession, moving up the field to Sage. Sage knocks it, but it will cross into the out-of-bounds territory at the center field line.
In that penalty corner for the Lakers, they decided to move Mastraka toward midfield. This time she was lined up for the shot but could not corral the ball.
Yeah, they had a nice chance trying to get that into her, but she was not able to get it as we have 3:10 here to go in the third. Going down, Mastraka with another opportunity there, taking the shot, but nothing, and the Lakers lose possession of the ball there. Sage will take over.
Yeah, Mastraka has done a great job of just putting an offensive statement in this game. Eleanor Kazel before, she also had a great chance to navigate this Gators defense. But at this point, you got to be satisfied with what they've been able to show through these first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, we might start to see shift in tempo. You might see some players take some rest, maybe catch a breather.
Yeah, if you're Oswego, you don't really need to be playing your players such as Simser or Mastraka right now because you're already up 7-0, and you have a whole nother quarter to play. And at what point do you want to risk the injury of your players?
That was an impressive save there by Anna Church.
That was a really nice save there on the backhand shot.
Taylor Bauer was on the backhanded shot. It was a great pass that skirted to the other side of Anna Church, and luckily she was able to put another fantastic save there.
Yeah, that was a great play by Taylor Bauer trying to get that backhand goal in. But Sage with possession of the ball now, 1:40 to go in the third quarter of play here. And they move. And now we are coming down the field. Oswego. Ooh, a nice pass up the middle there as they find Redmond. Redmond looks over in the corner. And now Darcy looks to do something with the ball, but can't do anything with it.
That was a great play by Jai Karen and just trapping Molly Darcy right there from kind of getting around her, because I think that was the best defensive show we've seen from the Gators defense, apart from, of course, Anna Church doing everything she can not to make it an absolute blowout.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just doing a great job. The effort has been not a problem here for Anna Church in this game.
Again, with this penalty corner, Mastraka's line up in the center.
Yeah, Mastraka in the center, and Schaefer in the corner. Schaefer winds up, whacks it into play. They're going to send it back. And in front, oh, a nice shot there, but blocked.
I think the Lakers tried to change it up a little bit. So instead of going to the obvious option of Mastrako, they went straight to Molly Darcy. She lost a little bit of possession right there, and she was able to corral it, but Church was able to block it away.
Yeah, and now Redmond's coming down, but Redmond is stopped. Sage coming up. And a nice block there. Great block by Darcy to keep Sage from advancing up the field. And Oswego's team is just all game, Garrett. They have been having amazing positioning when it comes to defending the middle of the zone. As another play there by Darcy. That is back-to-back plays now. She would not let leave the offensive zone, just keeping the pressure in on the Sage team.
Yeah, positioning is key, especially in this game. I think we saw in the first quarter where Caitlin Jordan, in that first goal, she was in a great position, and then in the minutes after, she was right in the middle of those second chance opportunities as we complete the third quarter. I mean, so far 7-0. It seems like this is all wrapped up from here.
Yeah, it really does. Like you said, 7-0. We're about to enter into this fourth quarter here. Oswego, 24 shots on goal. Sage, 0. So we were talking earlier about how Oswego's goalie in Shabline, she's been amazing this year. But Garrett, she hasn't even needed to be good this game. She hasn't been needed at all this game.
Yeah,
you could have had nobody in net, and the outcome would have been the same it is right now.
Yeah, I would say you could have an empty net, but let's not try to destroy the Sage Gators right now. I mean, you gotta give credit to the Lakers defense. They've done a great job of intercepting
They have
these
done a really great job.
passes, stopping these drives. If you were to, let's say, have an empty net, I'm sure the Sage Gators, once they get the ball, they would shoot for the goal.
Shoot for the goal. Yeah, it's what they've had They had a few chances earlier on the game in the first half where Sage did have a few shots. They just weren't able to make it on net. And ever since then, though, we haven't really seen any opportunities for the Sage team. Because, like you said, Oswego's defense has just been that dominant as of lately that they're just not allowing passes to get through in their zone. They're not allowing players to attack the zone. Their positioning has been amazing. As we are closing in here on the final moments of break, heading into the fourth quarter of the game. As we are about to take off. Now, Garrett, Oswego and Sage, they hadn't played each other for quite the time. How long? When was the last time that Oswego and Sage played before 2019?
I believe it was 1986.
1986.
That was the year the Mets won a World Series.
Was it actually?
Yes, it was.
Of course it was. Had to get the Mets in here in some way, shape, or form, but
it's all about the Mets, baby.
All about the Mets. 1986 was the last time before 2019 these teams faced off with each other. And Garrett, I would say there's been quite a bit of change over time since 1986 to 2019. What do you think? Not much has changed, maybe just a little bit, or
maybe a little bit has changed.
Yeah, I mean back the last time they played each other in 1986, Doc still thought that we'd be going around on hoverboards right now back in the future. But we are not. We are at the point where in 1986, the travel from Albany to Oswego, from Sage College to Oswego, the trip would have costed you $24.37 in gas. But in 2019, that would have been $51.83. Thank you to Professor Jacob Bradley for those stats. Stat that. 13:55 here to go in the fourth quarter as Thomas Turgeon shakes his head at us. And Sage there stops the ball. Oswego gets the ball there, moving up the field. But Sage takes it back. Eve Tonks, great defense there, not allowing any chance.
So far within the first minute and a half, 2 minutes, we've seen a lot of play in the middle of the field. Of course, it's changing now, but so far, I think Gators have found somewhat of a footing and have learned how to drive it farther down the field.
Yeah, they have been getting it a little bit deeper into Oswego's zone now, which is a good sign for Sage.
Great move by Bauer right there.
Yeah, it was a great move. Unfortunately, the shot does just go wide.
That was a nice spinorama.
Yeah, and for this Lakers field hockey team, they plan to keep their dominating streak going as they now have, I believe it is 3 games in a row now. They have now put up 7 or more goals and 3 shutouts in a row. 4 if this game does end up in a shutout as well. They will be going down to La Plume, Pennsylvania on Tuesday. Well, they will take on Keystone College, followed by on next Saturday. They will be in Canton as they take on St. Lawrence University.
Yeah, some more non-conference matchups for the Lakers. They look, as we seen all game, offensive pressure, offensive opportunities are going to be something to watch over the next couple of games. And hopefully Chabline gets a little bit more involved in the game and looks to keep her shutout streak going.
Yeah, it's always nice when your goalie doesn't have to face too many shots because that does take a lot of pressure off the goalie. Obviously, being goalie is probably the most stressful position on the field or the ice or whatever sport you may be playing that a goalie is needed in.
Just asked our sports director, Thomas Turgeon.
Yeah, we could ask him that, but... And that goes in for a goal right there. Oswego extends the lead to 8, and they now score a season-high 8 goals in a game. 11:33 here to go in the 4th. Oswego just keeps on the tear.
Yeah, as you see on the replay, at this point, they're just adding on. They're doing a little bit of the same thing we seen earlier in the game where they're putting a lot of bodies in front of the net. And this time they have something to show for it, much like 7 other goals they've had in the past 3 quarters.
Yeah, as that one ends up going out of bounds. Sage brings the ball up as they start to head upfield.
That recent goal before was by Taylor Bauer. That's her second of the game.
And Bauer with 2 goals. Like you just said, good game for her. Especially given that Taylor Bauer is a freshman for this Oswego team. She's from Battleboro, Vermont. And this has just been an outstanding performance for Oswego's. And it's kind of hard to not repeat ourselves at this point in the game because it's been a lot of the same story throughout. A lot of Oswego's offense dominating, a lot of the defense scrambling in Sage's zone, and a lot of Church just playing on her head outstanding.
Yeah, for the Lakers offense, you've had a lot of contributors, much like they've had in their previous contests, which is part of the reason why they've been able to score so many goals, have these large dominating victories. I mean, we mentioned before, Taylor Bauer has 2 goals in this game. So does Nancy Pagliaroli, who I had as my player to watch. So I say a great day at the office for the Lakers and me as well, I guess.
Yeah, it has been a great day at the office. It's always a good day when you can come in, get a nice win, get a nice confident win too, and get prepared for this long stretch that they are going to have next week. When they head down to Keystone on Tuesday night, that'll be a big road trip for Oswego. going deep into Pennsylvania for that one. And then on Tuesday night, and then on Saturday, heading out east a few hours to Canton, where, like I said, they will be taking on northeast to Canton, where they will be taking on St. Lawrence. And we have another penalty corner here. Chip pass up the middle, and a shot blocked by Sage's defense. And that pass goes right back out to Melta Mastracco, but she cannot get a shot off.
Penalty corner looked a little bit weird. It was passed straight to Mastracco. Wasn't able to really corral it. It was off to the side. She didn't get a great shot, as you can tell.
Yeah, as we head into the final 9 minutes of play here in this matchup, Oswego's lead 8-0. And they pass up. That was Flume looking for Bauer, but they could not connect on that one. So now Sage starts with the ball at the top of the circle. They pass it out to Harris. And now there's a battle in midfield between Haslub and an Oswego player.
How about that lockdown defense right there?
Yeah, great defense by Wojciech. Wojciech able to keep the ball in Oswego's possession there, just not allowing Haslub to get any momentum there.
Patrick Beverly like defense.
Pat Bev like D.
Well, I think Pat Beverly is a little scrappy, but that was great defense right there. Locking the Gators down.
Yeah, got some lockdown D from the Gators. And going up, the Gators, they try to find Haslub again, but they can't find her. As Wojciech starts with the ball again for Oswego.
Something worth mentioning here is that we talked a little bit about this earlier in the game, as we see the Gators try to mount some offensive pressure. We could have expected that the Lakers would try to sit some of their starters. We see some of that now. Abigail Redmond, number 1 in there. Number 12, Maddie Flume, also in the game. So it looks like Lakers, with this blowout win, are just trying to rest some of their key players as they get ready for their next contest on Tuesday night.
Yeah, like you said, I noticed that as well. As a name I said a few times there, Wojciech checks in. She is a freshman from Baldwinsville, New York, about 50 minutes outside of Oswego here. But you do still have some of your big-name starters in here for Oswego, as Mastracco is still on the field, as well as Schaefer.
Yeah, you do want to keep some of your key players in. I'm sure they want to add on to the incredible day they have already accumulated over the past 3 and a half quarters.
And a great pass there by Holly Carr, another substitute, getting her first minutes in this game. Throws it up to Flume. And then Kershaw looks over in the corner, looking for Jones. Jones looking in front for someone, but to no avail. And a great keep in there by Boucher. Backdoor opportunity by for Redmond, and that was a great pass right behind her, between the legs, and she came really close to having Kazel there for the tap-in goal.
That was a great backhanded chance, right? Scoring opportunity right there. Unfortunately, went to the left of Anna Church.
As we head into the last 5.5 minutes of the game, 5:30 to go, Lakers lead 8-0 in the fourth quarter of play. Coming up the field is Haslub for Sage. And Haslub meets some heavy pressure right away from Flume. And Flume comes out victorious of that one, moving up the field. She gets it to Redmond. Redmond comes into some trouble there, but she maintains the ball, keeps it outside. Oh, a nice move there, cutting inside. And that was a good look, looking down for Kazel, but just
a nice
out of
right there.
reach. Great play sequence there but nothing comes out of that. And now Sage will kick off play. It's a nice whack there, but it gets into the shin of Milligan. And it will remain the Gators' ball. And it hits off Milligan again, the same play twice in a row. They whack it up, knocks off an Oswego player's stick, and hits a Sage player in the body. And they give it back to Milligan, but she loses the ball to Carr. And now Carr's moving up the field. Carr made a nice little play there, trying to get it up to Flume, but a nice defensive play by Harris.
Harris doing a good job. I think in the past couple of minutes and closing moments of this game, she's just trying to mount some sort of offense, create some sort of shot opportunity, and she's done a really great job of kind of just driving the ball down the field, hopefully getting more Gators players into the defensive zone. But so far, nothing really materialized. Yeah,
the Sage offense, they looked better in the last 2-3 minutes than they did the majority of the game.
That would be fair to say, yeah.
They were able to get down in the zone, maintain a bit of possession there. As Oswego has an injured player, that is Kazel going over to the sideline, limping off. As they have possession of the ball in midfield. And that is Vadelaire with the ball. But it goes out of bounds from Charlotte Jones. As we got 2:59 here to go in the game. Sage with the ball. Coming up the field. And another break and play there. So, Garrett, we mentioned a little bit earlier that they had the break and play between these two teams from 1986 all the way to 2019. But the matchups of these two teams started actually way back in 1977. And do you know some things that were going on in 1977, Garrett?
I'm not aware.
You're not right. So the first time these two schools played off against each other, the first Star Wars movie was opening in cinemas.
Is that so?
Yeah. The first Apple II computers went on sale. And there was a New York City blackout that lasted for 25 hours, which you can relate to that one, being a Manhattan boy yourself.
Imagine a blackout in the city, not be fun.
As Oswego tries to get another shot on there, but a nice defensive play by Sage to get back and not allow that to get down. Ooh. And a tough one there for Flume as she takes a hard ball off the body. But she seems to be okay, signaling to the sideline, thumbs up, that she's good to stay in. We have 1:26 here to go in the game. Oswego Lakers lead 8-0 over the Sage Gators. Now Flume will start the game with a pass in. Intercepted in front of the net by Sage as they kind of just drag it over to the sideline, but whistle blown. And we now have 1 minute left in the game. So yeah, definitely an absolutely dominating performance by Oswego in this one here. This team now off to a 4-0 start this season, and not a single goal given up on the year yet.
Yeah, Lakers are definitely going to be proud of the outcome of this game. Ability to just be relentless in their offense and making sure that anytime Sage, just a moment of possession for the Gators, it's taken right back. And next thing you know, you have all these second chance opportunities, all these penalty corners that ended up just adding to their point total.
As we have 10 seconds remaining in this game, closing out, the Oswego State Lakers take this one 8-0. Final buzzer blows it dead. 8-0 Oswego Lakers over the Sage College Gators. And Garrett, what are your thoughts on this game?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is how just lopsided the contest was. Sage did not get any shot, let alone a shot on goal. For the Lakers, they were, from the opening minutes to the end, they've been able to create plenty of opportunities, second opportunities, put a lot of white jerseys in front of Anna Church, who you got to give her some credit and getting those incredible saves. I definitely remember the one earlier in the game where on that penalty shot where she just knocked it away for her glove. But for the most part, I mean, the Lakers, they're walking off here very satisfied with their effort. And for the Gators, finally, I mean, this was their first game of the season. At this point, you're just trying to see what kind of talent you have. How do you move forward and put this game behind them?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help being as this is their first game, like you just said, and the Lakers already had 3 previous games of experience before this. But a lot of the things, like you said, on the Lakers end of this, there's a lot of good to take. Keep the momentum going. You're going down into PA and to Northern New York this week. Keep that ball rolling. If you're Sage, though, the only good you can really see in this matchup was how well Church played. You got to go back to the drawing board, figure out some stuff with your offense, figure out your defense, and give Church that support she needs. But that's all we have here today at Laker Turf Stadium. Oswego Lakers win 8-0. I'm Kyle Spizak, joined by Garrett Chan. Thank you all for tuning in to WTOP 10 Sports, and we will see you next time.